We're just a few days away from starting the road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all the surprise entrances that I think are going to make it into the men's and women's Royal Rumble match this year. As always, if you go on to enjoy the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more wrestling content. There have been countless people that have announced for the Royal Rumble this year, but as usual, there's always a few surprises along the way. And looking at the current roster, there's a lot of people out injured, so there's a lot of people that could also make a lot of surprise returns, also that being from different companies. Starting off my first surprise entrant, I honestly think might be Powerhouse Hobbs, or what he's actually being named as is Royce Keys. Now, before you go about the name change and everything, Royce is his son's name. Keys, I'm not 100% sure on what that is, but Royce is his son's name. That's why they've changed it, and I think it's actually quite sentimental, which is interesting. Similar to how Mariah May isn't Mariah May, she's Blake Monroe. I believe she has like a niece that is also called Blake, so that's why she's called Blake Monroe. I think that's just a nice little touch that people have to their wrestling name. Why I think Powerhouse Hobbs will debut into the main roster, once his AEW contract expired, and a lot of people have like said where he's going to go, and a lot of speculation is towards NXT itself. I feel like it'd make more sense for him to come to the main roster. Yeah, the main roster is kind of a little bit overloaded at the moment, but hey, you know, another person to add to SmackDown and shake things up a little bit, I think. Because, I mean, who wouldn't want to see Powerhouse Hobbs versus, like, Drew McIntyre or Sami Zayn? We don't know who's going to win that Royal Rumble match, but hey, that could lead to the future. We could see Royce Keys versus Ricky Saints. Speaking of Ricky Saints, why would we not have the absolute Ricky Saints into the Royal Rumble? I mean, it's just another person to add in with a bit of flavor. I could see him having a match at Stand and Deliver for the NXT title, and then making his appearance into the Royal Rumble, which would be awesome to see. Obviously, he would still be in NXT afterwards, but it would be a nice little surprise to have. Speaking of other NXT champions, what about All Ego Ethan Page? Ethan Page has been on the NXT roster for the last 2 years, 18 months, 2 years, probably going on 3 to be honest. And he is nearly the longest reigning NXT champion. So to put into perspective, I feel like this could honestly be a boost to see him go into the main roster, if not show his potential at why he should be in the main roster when WWE actually decides to call him up very soon. So him being at the Royal Rumble is obviously a good way to show off his talent. Similar to how Joe Hendry was last year, shown off all his talent in the Royal Rumble, and then he got a WrestleMania match against Randy Orton when Kevin Owens got injured. It was actually awesome to see. So we could see All Ego Ethan Page actually show up at the Rumble. One of the big topics at the start of the year was Chris Jericho. Everyone thought he was going to debut on the first Raw of the year. Never showed up. Then we thought, hey, why doesn't he show up at the Royal Rumble? And there's a lot of things that point to him not actually showing up there, which could be like he's got his Fozzy tour, which is starting in England, I think on the 3rd or the 4th of February, while Royal Rumble's actually happening on the 1st. So there's a lot of like variables that people have of why he won't show up there. But who knows? He could show up, literally make a surprise entrance, and then go do his tour, and then come back just before Elimination Chamber and, yeah, have a little feud with someone. But it would be awesome to see if Chris Jericho actually does show up there. A lot of people are speculating that he probably will come in after WrestleMania with a build-up to Backlash, which would be awesome too. But I kind of want to see him at the Royal Rumble, man. Like, can you imagine it's counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then when it gets to 5, it changes to the old school Chris Jericho, flash 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the Walls of Jericho drops, man. That would be absolutely spectacular to see. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, be sure to like, subscribe. It does help me out greatly. And make sure you follow me on my socials, because that is where I am most active when I'm not uploading videos. Also, with the Men's Royal Rumble last year, we had iShow Speed show up and take Tozawa's spot. Could we possibly see another celebrity come in, or maybe even a TNA star, like, say, Nick Nemeth? That would be honestly cool. We've now got Matt Cardona in WWE, finally, he's returned. Could we see Nick Nemeth come across? Could we see, like, Frankie Kazarian come across? There's, like, so many people from TNA that we'd love to see come across, and I'm sure they will do that eventually. I'm just not 100% sure on who it will be, but it would be cool to see some TNA stars, maybe even some AAA stars like Mr. Iguana. That would be cool. Psycho Clown. The son of Dr. Wagner Jr. That would be also cool. I feel like Mr. Iguana might actually show up. He is a pretty prominent star at the moment, and he kind of took the WWE universe by storm last year. And I would honestly love to see Mr. Iguana. I reckon he'd add that tiny little depth of like funniness into the Royal Rumble that they have, like where they have like Hornswoggle or someone jump out like Kofi Kingston, jumps out to the ring and then jumps back in. It was honestly, just that little fun little aspect that they could have in. The 2025 Women's Royal Rumble had so many NXT superstars come through, and I wouldn't be surprised if they show that off again. There's a lot of women's superstars in NXT that I could possibly see surprising us in the Women's Royal Rumble. To name a few people that we had last year show up and that are kind of on the main roster now, there was Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Lash Legend. We also had Jada Parker. She's still in NXT. She's currently feuding with Blake Monroe. Also, I'd love to see the Glamour in the Royal Rumble. It would be awesome to see. I mean, there's going to be so many NXT stars. We could have Lola Vice this year as well. We could have JC Jane. There's just a heap of people that could come across, and it would be awesome to see. For the Women's Royal Rumble, could we also see like the returns of people from injury, like Bianca Belair? She's been out for a while with like a finger injury, I believe. We could also see Tiffany Stratton come back. What has Jade's run actually been with the title so far as more of like a placeholder until Tiffany comes back? I just feel like they need to build that up, and they could literally have Bianca come back and maybe face Jade, or we have Tiffany come back and try and get her second reign with the title. Who else could we see in there? We could see, honestly, like Fatal Influence make maybe a spot there, like Fallon Henley. She's been in NXT for quite a while. We could see her come up. We could see Kendall Gray, or we could see Ren QCC. I mean, they're kind of really hot at the moment in NXT, so we could see them come up maybe. We could obviously see Sol Ruka. I mean, she is supposed to be set to be in the main roster and has got a call-up. I'd love to see Zarya, for God's sakes. Delta from Australia, I mean, that would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to see Zarya in the Royal Rumble as well. A couple other people I'd love to see in the Men's Royal Rumble would probably be like Leon Slater. I mean, he literally had a match with Carmelo Hayes like a couple of weeks ago for the United States Championship. Another person I'd love to see is Alexis King. He would be awesome to see. I don't know what he'd kind of do there. I don't know if he'd be in there for very long, but he'd be awesome to see. We could also see Miles Bourne in there. I mean, he's kind of not really doing too much in NXT at the moment. Could you imagine if him and Randy Orton had a quick little face-off and had like a little meme? That would be cool. Or we could see Shawn Spears show up. I mean, we haven't seen Shawn Spears in the main roster for quite a while, since he was Ty Dillinger, which has probably been about 5 or 6 years now. But yeah, it would be awesome to see him make an appearance in the Rumble. There is just so many people that could actually be in this Royal Rumble this year. It's kind of crazy to think about. I feel like the women's probably lacks a little bit more because there's been so many injuries the last year. That's just the way that they do it. They can always pick people from NXT to come up to the main roster to have a shot at the titles, and the Rumble is just always the best way to do that. If you guys did go on to enjoy the video, be sure to like, subscribe, make sure you follow me on all my social media down below in the description. I will see you guys later this week for my Rumble prediction winners.